Check, check, check. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, everyone, I guess you can hear me. Now I got to figure out how to get the picture back, okay? Give me 1 sec. We're going to get the picture back. All right. All right. We'll get there. Hang on. Let's see. This is my webcam. Let me see if I can get the other one going. Hang on. Oh, man. All right. Hey, all right. You can see me? Can you hear me? Let's go. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I think we're good. Let's see. All right, we good? Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. All right, behind the scenes. Yes. There we go. Okay. Oh, wow. How about that? We got that going. Thanks for sticking with me, everyone. You guys rock. I really appreciate it. I know we got some people over there on Rumble. We got some people here on YouTube. That's awesome. So I guess I'll kick it off and give you my give you my little thing at the beginning. I spent time writing it, so I guess you should hear it. All right, let me just do a reset real quick. Here we go. And right after this little tiny thing, we're set to go. Hey, all right. I think we're going. Yes, let's go. We're here to talk about opinions today. I know it's a Fact Check Friday, but we're talking about opinions. You know, those things that people have when they don't have any facts. Now, I'm not saying opinions are worthless. They can be entertaining, like a clown at a children's party, but you can't fact check a clown and you can't fact check an opinion. It's like my grandma used to say, opinions, they're like booties. Everyone's got one, and a lot of them stink. Now, nowadays, everybody thinks they're an expert on everything. You can have a PhD in marine biology, and then you go and you post your opinion on climate change on social media. Suddenly, you're an armchair climatologist. It's like, dude, you spent 6 years studying turtles. Maybe stick to that instead of thinking you know everything. But let's be real. The problems, it's not opinions themselves. It's the fact that people confuse them with facts. I mean, I have an opinion on how to make the perfect tuna melt. But that doesn't mean it's scientifically proven fact. Although, if anyone wants my recipe, I guarantee it'll change your life. So remember, everyone, when someone tries to pass off their opinion as fact, just smile and nod. Or, challenge them with actual facts. But don't expect them to change. They're not going to change their mind. After all, opinions, it's a lot like concrete. Once it's set, it's pretty hard to change. My name, Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee and Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Hey, oh man, what a great group. Thanks for sticking with me. It's all working, right? Can I get a thumbs up or something just to make sure that you got the monologue there? Everything's good? No, everything's good. You good now? All right. I think we're cruising. I think we are cruising, although there's a bit of a delay, so I know your comment will come up here in a second. But we're talking about confident in his tuna melt. I am confident in my tuna melt. Today we got a couple things. I want to talk about fact-checking opinions, and I'm going to give you examples of how these so-called fact-check sites aren't even checking facts. I'm going to tell you about the Nigerian Bank Run. Pablo Neruda, from decades ago, turns out he was poisoned. New information on that. The latest on Kari Lake. And good news, it involves glitter. So that's what we're going to get to today. But, it's a Friday, so that means we got to do some fact-checking. We've got to do some fact-checking. And so let's go check out what Politifact thinks are fact checks. Okay? Now, this is what they do. Here's the claim. This is on Politifact. It says in the past, Joe Biden said this. I got a couple examples. In the past 2 years, democracies have become stronger, not weaker. Autocracies have grown weaker, not stronger. Now, this is from the State of the Union. And Politifact decided, we got to fact check that because Joe Biden just said this fact. And, yeah, that's Joe Biden's opinion. He can have that opinion. He can think that democracies have grown stronger and autocracies have grown weaker. He can have that opinion. Big deal. It's not a fact. You can't actually judge. There's no scale. You can't get calipers out and see how strong a democracy is or how weak an autocracy is becoming. That's ridiculous. It's just his opinion. Now you can, if you want to fact check it, you can say most experts or all these authoritative people that study economics or that study world politics or whatever, they all tend to be saying one thing. The vast majority of them are saying one thing. But you can't measure how well an autocracy or a democracy is doing. That's just silly. He's allowed to say that nonsense if he wants to. And you can say, hey, Joe, do you have any evidence to back up this thing that you're saying? Right? That would be a responsible response to this. But to just say, fact check, it's a false. That's ridiculous. Another example. This is Katie McEnany, right? She was Trump's Secretary of Lies. What's that called? I forget. Spokesperson. White House spokesperson, yeah. Joe Biden's wide open southern border is to blame for fentanyl deaths in the U.S. Fact check, false. That's what Politifact says. It's an opinion. She's saying that this all the fentanyl comes across the southern border. That's where it comes from. It seems to be open. It's not technically wide open. I mean, the entire border is not unguarded. The entire border does not have places to get through. But there's, it's pretty open. It's more open than it was under Trump. But that's an opinion that it's to blame for the fentanyl deaths in the U.S. Okay, so fentanyl deaths have risen 23% under Joe Biden. It's up to like 70,000 people. Immigration has changed things. Southern border, it's not wide open. You know, they have some staffing problems, but there's places to get through. Now, one of the criticisms with this could be, you know, a lot of the fentanyl may come across, you know, a checkpoint. And so the open border really has nothing to do with the checkpoint. If someone drives it across the border and the border guards don't find it in the trunk or in the wheel well or wherever they're hiding the pills, it has nothing to do with the open border. But you know what? This is her opinion. It's just an opinion, and you can't fact check the opinion. You can raise questions about, you know, does this have any effect? Well, yeah, you can say that it has an effect, but just a blanket statement that the open border policy is to blame for all the fentanyl deaths in the U.S., it's her opinion. A lot of people share that opinion. A lot of facts would back up that opinion, but it's just an opinion. And lastly, this is Mike Pence from November of last year. He said the border wall and the Remain in Mexico policy reduced illegal immigration by 90%. Fact check, it's a false. You know. So what it says here is there's more than 650 miles of barriers on the southern border before Trump took the presidency, and he added more miles to close that up. So he did things to close the border. He did have a Remain in Mexico policy, but probably COVID had a lot to do with the reduced illegal immigration, but we don't know. That's not a fact. That's an opinion. And that's the problem, is people come up with these opinions. We should call that out and say, hey, that's an interesting opinion you have, Mike Pence. Why do you think that? You know, ask why. Ask how he came to that conclusion. Ask what he's thinking about. But to just say fact check false, I don't think that adds to anyone's understanding. It doesn't add to the discussion. It doesn't add to people understanding the situation more. If you just say fact check false, you're just dismissing opinions outright rather than discussing them. And I think we need more discussions about things and less fact check wrong, you know, fact check false. You know. Although I do think that it's funny. I find it funny myself that if hang on one second. Yes. I'm in my show. I'll talk to you later. Sorry about that, folks. My dad left his iPhone here. Yeah. Oh, what a day, right? So, anyway, that's the thing with opinions. What I do find funny, though, sometimes is if there's someone I don't know in public and they say an opinion, you know, like I think that that's a good movie or I like this. I enjoy eating here, whatever, just a nice opinion. And then I just tell them they're wrong. I kind of think that that's funny, although maybe it's being a jerk. I'm not sure. I do that sometimes for a reaction. But that's what it is you really can't, you know, opinions aren't necessarily wrong. They can be bad. They can be dumb. They can be unsupported. But they're technically not wrong. So, nah, it's just your opinion, man. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Duggo, thanks for the tip on Rumble. Let's get some facts. And I'm glad you stuck around so that we could get this going. Bit of a crazy day here in the coffee house. Oh, wrong. Oh, let's get out of there. There we go. Did I have that up the whole time? What the hell am I doing? Behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, so that is the deal with fact checks. Even fact check websites don't seem to know the difference between a fact and an opinion. And if you don't know the difference between a fact and an opinion, should you really be a fact checker? I don't think so. That's crazy. But let's get to the rest of the stories today. Let's see what's going on in the news. Okay, let's talk about the bank run in Nigeria. I don't know if I mentioned this the other day, but things are been getting a little crazy over there. Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari, is given approval to the central bank to extend the deadline for turnover of old banknotes for another 60 days following cash shortages. The banknotes had already been given a deadline of February 10th, after which they would no longer be legal tender. However, there's been long lines and chaotic scenes at banks across the country as these new banknotes have been in short supply. The president has said the old 200 notes will continue to circulate in the economy alongside the new 1,000, 500, and 200 notes until April 10th. The old notes will be swapped at the central bank and designated points. So this has been happening over in Nigeria. Let's get rid of the old money. We've had problems with the old money. Maybe there's lots of counterfeit. We don't want to use that anymore. So everybody turned their things in. And what's funny, what happened is originally when it was announced, he only gave a couple days to the country. Hey, you got until this weekend to swap your cash, and immediately huge lines at the banks, and a lot of the banks ran out of money. And so it didn't quite work. So Nigeria is a really interesting place. A lot going on over there in Lagos. Something to keep an eye on. But that was the latest thing that was happening over there. Let's just hope they don't take more IMF loans, right? That's because they could be getting some democracy real soon, if you know what I mean. All right. Do you know Pablo Neruda? Are you familiar with this guy? I thought everyone was, but apparently not. It seemed to be a big thing with girls in the late 80s or 90s in university, at least for me. They all seemed to have a Pablo Neruda book of poetry. Okay, so he was a poet from Chile. Well, we got some brand new news on this, and it's great if you like cold cases. International forensic experts have delivered a report to Chilean justice officials regarding the death of poet Pablo Neruda some 50 years ago. Bone and tooth samples from Neruda's exhumed body were examined by scientists from Canada, Denmark, and Chile, who found high levels of poison in the remains. The bacterium that causes botulism poisoning was discovered, which confirms claims made by the poet's nephew for 50 years that his uncle was injected with poison at a hospital after a U.S.-backed coup that deposed his friend, President Salvador Allende. Relatives of Neruda are hoping to open a criminal investigation into his death. We'll see, back then, Chile, they needed to get some democracy. And overthrow the president. And lo and behold, there was a U.S.-backed coup. And this world-famous poet was good friends with the then president, and he died. It turned out he was poisoned. This is brand new information. Like I say, his nephew's been saying this for decades, but they've confirmed it now. Is anything going to happen with it? Probably not. But it is nice to know that sometimes this stuff will come out eventually. And perhaps maybe eventually, we'll get to see all the JFK files, right? Maybe. Perhaps. This took 50 years to get this information on Pablo Neruda. Maybe all the JFK files will be released. We shall see. All right. An Arizona appeals court has denied Republican Kari Lake's challenge of her defeat in the Arizona governor's race to Democrat Katie Hobbs. Lake's request to throw out the election results in the state's most populous country and hold the election again was denied. The court said Lake presented no evidence that voters whose ballots were unreadable by tabulators at polling places were not able to vote. The pollster who testified on behalf of Lake claimed the polling place problems had disenfranchised enough people to change the outcome in Lake's favor, but the court said his conclusion was baseless. So, again, I am happy, I am pleased that Kari Lake has been fighting this. I think that if you feel like you were cheated, that you should actually fight, and she has been fighting, and so I applaud that effort. A lot of people, when they feel like they've been cheated, just quit or just go away, and she hasn't done that. So that's whether you like her or not, whether you think the election was fishy or not, I'm glad that she attempted to fight it. Now, what happened wasn't necessarily the case that was being made about that, and I think I talked about this a week ago in this. The point wasn't that people were denied voting. What it did is it caused chaos at the polling station, causing long lines, making it difficult, and so that some people would not want to stay in line for 4 hours, and then they didn't vote. That was more of the argument. Even in reading what the judge said, it was one of these things that was technically right, but really didn't look at the spirit of it. So I think they made a mistake, though, not with the election, but in trying to dismiss Kari Lake. She is a very charismatic person, and I suspect that she will now run for senator in Arizona. She's got a lot of support there, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if she's the next senator in Arizona. But it looks like this is the end of the court cases for the gubernatorial battle from last year. And we need some good news, right? We need some good news. Good news to pull us through. Scientists at Cambridge University have developed a biodegradable vegan glitter made from nanocrystals. Yeah. Of cellulose, the natural material that builds the cell walls of plants, fruits, and vegetables. It's just as sparkly as traditional glitter, but less harmful to the environment and does not contain the harmful microplastics that pollute the seas and homes. Microplastics have been found polluting snow and ice from the Arctic to the Alps, as well as the deepest parts of the ocean. The new process, which involves making large cellulose sheets that are ground into tiny particles, uses less energy than making traditional glitter. So that could be a big change. There's lots of glitter. A lot of women seem to like glitter. Put it everywhere. It gets everywhere. And if they can make some glitter that is not made from microplastics, that just dissolves naturally, that's a good thing. That's some good news. That's some good news on Friday. I have already looked on Amazon. There's plenty of people selling this already. Non-toxic glitter and whatnot. But you don't want just non-toxic. You want to see if you can get this glitter that is vegan, that is made from cellulose, that doesn't contain any plastic whatsoever. So if glitter's your thing, now you have something new. Something new to get. So just a reminder that if you're not watching this live, and I should have said this earlier, but if you're not watching this live, I always put the time codes in the description of the video so that if I'm doing a story and you want to skip to the next story, you can just click on the time code and it will advance you to the next story. Or if there's only one story that you're in particular that you're looking for, on YouTube it has a little scrub bar, but on the other platforms you can just click on the time code and it'll take you directly to that part of the video. How cool would that be if you could do that watching TV? I don't like this story, next story, click. That would be kind of cool, but you can do it with this show. Stick around after the outro. I will be laughing at your comments and replying to them. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and I will be seeing you on Monday. And in the after show, have an awesome, awesome day. Peace. Hey, all right. All right, glad you're here. Reminder, if you got any questions for me that I can answer shortly, that I can answer on my new channel, where I'm just going to be doing quick answers for things, please send me your questions at asktom@protonmail.com. But this is the after show where I look over the comments. Of course, all the comments in the beginning, audio, no video, no video. Take your time, Tom. Behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah, we got lots of encouragement from y'all, and I really, really appreciate it. Everything is good. Yes, yes. Redo monologue. So I did redo the monologue. Who is confident in his tuna melt? I am. Valid opinion. My favorite bands are the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Garbage. Garbage is actually going to play here this summer. They're opening for, is it Noel Gallagher at the outdoor center? I just saw tickets for that. Decent tickets, $150. I love Garbage, the band. They're great. I saw them open for Smashing Pumpkins tour. Long ago. That was a lot of fun. But that is a valid opinion, and you can't say fact check false to that. You can say I disagree, but you can't say that that's fact check false. Nigerian Bank Run, that's an opinion. Not all Nigerians run to the bank. That's true. I agree. I love literal fact checks where you can fact check, the grammar of something. That's always fun as well. Nigerian Bank Walk. That's a cool new dance move. Nigeria, I really enjoy Nigeria. I like the pop music of Nigeria. One of the things I like about it is it seems a lot more wholesome than American pop music. They're not dropping the N-bomb 42 times in a song. It's just kind of more traditional, like old school pop music about I like this girl and love me and that kind of stuff. But it's not explicit, and so that's kind of fun. I like Nigerian pop. All the Pfizer fires someday. I'm not sure what that is. There's a slight echo, almost as though you're recording simultaneously through two mics. I got to figure out. I'll do some checks on my whole studio this weekend and see if we can fix this, because that was crazy today. Oops, just missed it. I'll turn it on. Replay. It seems to me that the echo is happening during close-ups. That's good to know. Thank you for the feedback on that. I have two different cameras and I got a bunch of different settings, and I'll just have to double check all that. I really appreciate your feedback, because a lot of this I couldn't even do myself. I rely on you telling me this. Ah, yes, non-toxic glitter. What a concept. I don't, a lot of, the graphic I had, I think it was like a strip club. There's always glitter at those types of places. But to have all this microplastic and just have it all over your body just doesn't seem like a good thing. Doesn't seem like a good thing at all. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. You're good now? All good? Hey, Gonzo the Good, hit me up with a tip over on Rumble. Thank you, Gonzo the Good, and thank you, Duggo, for hooking me up over there. Avi, good. I appreciate the feedback on it. It really means more than you think. It really does. This weekend, obviously, I'm gonna start working my studio. There's things I know that I got to improve on it, and it gives me something to work toward. So that's cool. And I am starting this new project, like I said, with I want to get something separate from this channel, because this channel, they just seem to have their thumb on the scale, and I'm not getting many views at all. And so that is what it is. But, I'm going to work on that. That's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate everyone sticking through the chaos at the beginning of this. That's your good deed for the day. For for sticking by and encouraging me. I really appreciate that. Hope y'all have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you next time. Peace.